his version of the story is not true. If you want to know the truth, go to the former OGs and ask them if they'll tell you. But that narrative he was spinning, 100% lies.
You know what's crazy
from the source.
You know what's crazy about that whole story? He was in this space one time, and he asked about it, and I told him what happened. I said, this is exactly what happened. Some people stepped aside. Some people's egos got hurt. Everybody decided to do their own thing. And there's a plus now. Because I run rooms consistently. Man, hate is gonna motherfucking hate. Jealousy is a horrible sin. And that's a fact.
You know, it's pathetic. It's a waste of time. And I for some reason, I do enjoy the drama. And I record it and I live stream it. Jasmine, and your incredible rooms that I love to live stream. So people...
Jasmine, John, John, man, you say this, you just say things to trigger people. And I'm going to ask you one last time to stop. Man, I've been supporting. I'm asking for the same respect in return.
I'm not trying to trigger. I'm not trying to trigger anybody.
All right, well then do me a favor, just chill no openings tonight, because I don't want to just blow up on you because it's not your fault that Pepe's a fucking lowlife, and that's exactly what it is. Look, I'm not perfect. I made so many mistakes in my life. I can't live there anymore. I refuse to. I've grown too much as a man, as a father, as a friend. I refuse, and I wasn't even going to address this, to be honest with you. I get thrown out of a restaurant until they say, "Hey, we're going to call the police," or whatever it is. Why go places you're not welcome? And here's the thing. Doesn't it bother any people the things he says and then uses the excuse, I'm just a troll? Doesn't that bother you people? That he could just use the N-word?
Oh, I'm mute. Sorry. Okay. Hey, I'm new. Sorry.
No, I understand. It's okay. Wait, I just want to address some comments in the chat. Folks are like, y'all should get a life, go outside, touch grass, get off the app. Here's the thing. For some of us, clubhousing and harassing and weirdo shit, all of the industry players who add value to spaces, you ran them off with your doxing and harassing and insecurities and weirdo shit. So now we're just left with doxers, harassers, and racists. Okay? So we're trying to navigate the hallways and finding people with some common sense that we can be chill with. So then now that we found the cool, chill people, you want to dox and harass them too.
Hold on one second.
Tell us we need to go outside and touch grass. Go tell the doxers and harassers and racists that y'all sit on stages with and Kiki and Kaka. Tell them to go outside and touch grass.
Let me just, I'm sorry, and I have to say, so Keegan gave it to him. All I heard it was jazzy. Man, where the fuck did you come in? There's no reality to that. But it's okay to just throw her name out there. You're a piece of shit. Mike Moon, you wanted to say something?
You know, I'm really, really good at listening comprehension. I spend more time listening than most people on this app. And I'll tell you that everybody's missing the elephant in the room. There's one overriding thesis of that room that Pepe had. It's simple. You claim that he doxed Roger. He claims he didn't dox Roger. We have the facts. We'll move. First of all, if he did dox Roger, then that delegitimizes his entire room. It means his entire room was just a bitch fest of him going off and attacking somebody to get his fucking own rocks off.
Mike Moon, he doxed Roger. There's no
listen,
about it.
Let me get there. For the room's benefit, it's really simple. He did it. So he doxed. His entire premise of the room was that he didn't dox. So now his room is delegitimized, and now it's just literally a bitch fest. Shut the fuck up. And I was like, you know what? I will shut the fuck up, because I'm not here, because you can do fine. Either way, I was there to basically determine whether or not his allegations were accurate, because that's all I give a shit about, personally, is just trying to know the truth. And the fact is, he's a fucking liar. And then Keegan came in and totally stirred the pot. It was weird for me because I've been in countless rooms where Keegan's been hanging out with you, kissing your ass, being nice to you. So the fact that he bounces back and forth between that fucking shithead. And the only other thing I'll say is I've told Pepe he's a racist piece of fucking shit to his face multiple times. And he is a racist piece of shit. And I'm pretty disappointed that so many fucking people can say he's a great...
Wait, black people sit on the stage with Pepe and joke and laugh with him. Y'all are some fucking weirdos. Knowing that this man does not even like black people, knowing that he's been hurling the N-word towards black people, disparaging black men and black women for years, and y'all be the main ones on his stage doing his bidding, carrying bones for him. Y'all are fucking. Can you imagine being black and a follower for a racist? The ancestors are rolling over in their graves at you goofy ass.
Oh, well, let me say this. He got 2 accounts flipped tonight. Not 1, but 2. And yes, there's still 1 standing. That's probably going to go 2. Has nothing to do with me. But he's going to be back tomorrow. We all know he's coming back tomorrow. He's so insecure. He needs to be heard. Right? So, by the way, Nye, I don't know if I told you, but when Roger comes back, and he's coming back, I'm not going to say when Roger comes back, after that room, I'm going to be taking a break. But that was kind of a scheduled break anyway. I'm going to take a couple of days off just to decompress from the nonsense. But let me tell you something. How would you go into a room? Shame on him. Because you don't like Roger. His excuse was, I don't like fat shames people. Right? So he could dox his family. Instead of having a one-on-one dox his family. Instead of having a one-on-one conversation with him. Or what was his other excuse? I don't like that he's associated with John Kitover. What is that your fucking business? All of a sudden, you're the fucking moral police? This is the guy you guys want to... This is the moral police you want to follow? He would kill some of you people in a heartbeat just for being black. And that's a fact. He would spit on you if you were a Jew. That's a fact. But keep following him. Keep going into those car crash rooms. Holly, how you doing, Holly? Holly Dolly? All right, Holly's not there. Oh, Raj, what's good, old Raj?
Top of the evening, young man. Another 15 in the books, in your honor. Little exercise.
Good.
Non sequitur, sir, but could you explain to me what the hell that blonde DA in Rhode Island did that caused such a shitstorm? You know anything about it?
I have no idea, but we're not going down any other lane but what we're talking about right now, Raj, at all.
Okay.
Thank you. Pink Pill, how you doing, Pink Pill?
I'm good. JB, how are you? What's going on? What did Pepe do now? He's always in trouble.
Well, Pepe doxed Roger, where he put his family's information, his job history, all that stuff. And then when I said you doxed him, he'd been running rooms for, 4 or 5 days about me. The man is obsessed. I live rent-free in his head. And he got kicked off the app. He got clipped. 2 of his accounts got clipped. But you know what, Pink Pill? He's like herpes. You can never get rid of him. He'll always come back.
He does always come back. He can't help it. Like, I've never seen somebody who says they can't stand black people so much, but I always see him in black rooms.
She signs off on his racism. She signs off on his racism. She enables him because she's a black woman that's a self-hating black. Enables him because she's a black woman that's a self-hating black woman. So it's okay that she sits there with the known racist on the app, anti-Semite, hater, but mine will sit there and kiki with all fucking day. That dumb bitch. I'm sick of it. You want to dox me, bro? And you know what the funny thing is, Nye? I've been telling you for days, I'm just going to sit back. I'm not even really engaged with this asshole. Because you know what? Karma always catches up to everybody. Everybody. But tonight was just enough. And listen, I was eating dinner. I got multiple texts. He got clipped in mid-sentence. And my first thought was, I swear to God, karma. Karma has no menu. You get served what you deserve. But here's the thing. He will be back. It's going to be interesting to see how many people run into his rooms again. Because if you don't breathe air into that fire, the fire dies out. What's up, Sir T?
What's going on, JB? Who's interrupting your piece, man?
Nobody. I don't allow that. Nobody's getting in my piece. I promise you. But what happens is when people fuck with my friends in their piece, then I have an issue. Because, you know, I am old school Brooklyn, man. Loyalty's not a word, it's a lifestyle. Flip that one, Pepe. Loyalty's not a word, it's a lifestyle. These are my people. These are my friends. I didn't just cultivate these relationships. These are years in the making. People who know me, trust me, love me, respect me. Can anybody say that about you? Anybody? David Katz, what's good?
Those are good.
appreciate what you're saying. It's all true. You paid your debt to society, which very few of us have. Whether we can use
we haven't paid our debt to society. This guy could.
I want to also speak to a degree, just because a lot of the rooms of the Papers Dinner are recorded. I mean, the one today. So all of the ranting and production and untruths are there. Not going away. The rooms last night I was in where Pepe's colleagues were repeating stuff that wasn't true. I think that Roger will have the last laugh. That's all I'm going to say.
I'll say this, and I'm not going to let any cats out of the bag, but I can promise you Roger's going to have that last laugh. And it's going to be very interesting. I say it all the time. It's a harder ball game when the rabbit's holding the gun. Right? Roger could be crass, he could be brusque, he could be rude sometimes. But Roger's also probably one of the best dudes on this app.
He's also not stupid.
100%, but the shit you don't know about what Roger's done for people is unbelievable. But you guys just want to run with these narratives. Oh, Pepe. Where's the Pepe tonight? He got clipped. Does anybody feel bad that, you know what, I'm going to put a poll up. Mike, can you run it for a minute? I want to pull a poll up. What's up, Frankie?
All right, yeah, I'm here. Go ahead. Karma's real. I'll be honest. When I was sitting in that room and Pepe disappeared and they started saying he got clipped, I too thought that JB used some of his connections and got him clipped. And I started to text you, but then I said, I'm hungry. I'm going to get some hot wings. And then when we solved, JB had nothing to do with getting him clipped. So, but that was fast. Clubhouse, I don't know how the clipping works. Do you get reported? Is it a mass reporting and then the Clubhouse, the man behind the curtain listens in to see what's going on and clips? But you get that handled. Y'all did nothing about it. Pepe ran a 2-hour room and got clipped almost immediately. That's fascinating. So note to self, next time my harasser and doxer harasses and attempts to dox me, I need to figure out how to get a room, center him in a room, and maybe they'll react. Maybe I'll get some justice. I'm glad you got some justice, JB, but like you said, he'll be back. He'll be back tomorrow. He has multiple accounts. And it will be interesting to see when he returns what his next room will be about. And half the people who, not half, but some of the people in here, I'm looking through the audience. Some of the same people who are in the chat and in the audience claiming they support JB and they like JB will be over in that room talking shit in the chat. It's weird. It's just so strange. Demonic. You lot are demonic.
There's a new poll up. Hold on. I want to vote. Does anyone feel bad for that Pepe got clipped? There you go. Here's my vote. So, yeah. What's up, Norm? How you doing?
Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
I'm doing great as well. So, some shit popped off tonight. 2 of Pepe's accounts, not one, but 2 of Pepe's accounts got clipped. Does anybody feel bad for him? Anybody? Bueller? So you can only say so much polarizing negative shit. And by the way, speaking of Clubhouse, let me just answer this question if you can mute up for a second. One of the administrators, and I'm not going to name the person, was in this space right here. And I hit him in the back channel. I was like, bro, listen, I'm just done with the docs, and I've been doxxed for days, blah, blah, blah. If you have an issue, just reach out to me before you clip me. He wrote back, he goes, I have no problems with what you're doing. He was also in that room, and that's how Pepe got clipped. That had nothing to do with me. So fuck him.
Right on to that administrator. Right on. Pepe should have been doxxed ages ago because of all the anti-N-word stuff. But, racism is allowed to thrive on this app. But I'm glad somebody actually did something this time.
Nobody said they feel bad for him so far. Out of 13 votes we got, 85% says he deserves it. Free speech should be allowed. That's 16% so far. Man, listen. I don't mind a little banging once in a while. Let's get it off our chest. Say what you gotta say. But there gotta be lines to cross, And he crossed every one of them. between Roger, between myself, running these rooms nonstop for days. Yo, Mike Freeman, man, I don't even know who you are. I got no smoke with you. I agree with you. That dude's gonna ride. He's like herpes. You cannot get rid of that dude. He'll be back. He's already probably at fucking AT&T getting another phone or getting some free number or fucking Google. I don't know, Mike. If it was me, I wouldn't come back. If the app is telling you you're not welcome, why come back?
Well, I hope the black people who like to sit on stage with him and be called the N-word will be okay during Pepe's downtime. I know you probably will not know what to do with yourselves without having a non-black person call you the N-word and monkey and ape and gorilla and thug. I hope you find peace, and I hope you pray over the next couple days. Your master will be back soon, and soon you can be back on his stage where he can call you the N-word and a monkey and an ape and a criminal, and you can laugh about it because it's funny. It's funny to be called an N-word by the white man, and entertainment. So just hold on. He'll be back soon. Hopefully you'll find some other rooms to go into. There are plenty of other white races on the app that you can get your racial fetish fix until Pepe returns. Hopefully you find it.
We're going popcorn style, guys. Hey, Holly, you there, Holly?
I am. I'm here.
Do you want to chime in or you just want to hang out with the cool kids?
Yeah, I just want to be with you guys and have your coolness rub off on me. I don't really have a strong opinion about Pepe, honestly. I've always been kind of like neutral in the Pepe land. But
how could you be neutral when he doxes people? He puts out their personal information, their family's information. I'm sorry, Holly, I'm not letting you scat on this one. You don't have to give an opinion, but to say you're neutral, I'm going to pull cap on that, sweet.
I don't know if it's me, but there's some of that you were breaking up on me a little. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about doxing. So I've always thought Pepe was like kind of anti-dox. So he's doxed Roger's face. Is that what's happened?
No. See, don't drink that Kool-Aid. What he did was he broadcasted his work history, his family's business, everything. He didn't just put up a picture, which I consider doxing, by the way, because if Roger wanted his picture up here, he would have put his picture up. He didn't want it, but he got it, right? But he did other things, see? Don't drink that Kool-Aid.
I don't picking up pieces since I haven't been on all day, so I'm just picking up pieces here. So, okay.
It didn't happen today, Holly. It's been going on for 5 or 6 days now. So not just today.
Oh, shit. Okay, I missed this whole thing. So did he put it up on Clubhouse, or did he put it up on, like, Telegram or something? Like,
he definitely broadcasted in Clubhouse rooms. That I know.
Oh, that's fucked up.
So let me say, Francie, hold on a second. Let me say hello to Adams. Dr. Adams, how you doing? I'm gonna say good morning. That's how tired I am.
Oh my God, you know how tired I am. I've been up for quite some time. I'm just getting home. You know, I'm happy that this turned out the way that it did. I feel like there needed to be a lesson that needed to be learned, and I feel like there were lines that were just unacceptably crossed, and I hope people are paying attention. I really hope they're paying attention.
Thank you, Adam. I appreciate you, man.
And for the record, I just want to say this, you know, my feelings about Pepe after watching this is, hey, if he can do it to you, he can definitely do it to anybody else, including myself. So there definitely will be a difference if he does come back onto this app, how he will be received in certain spaces.
I agree with you, but let me say this before I go to Francie and then Bono and Kermit the Frog together. What's up, Frankie?
I really don't know Pepe well, but I've been listening and for the past few days finding out what was going on, and you have to wonder what his mindset is, and if we can just take a step back and think about it. I think that he has the potential to be a predator. And I think, and Dawn is here somewhere, and Dawn also she has great instincts. I can tell you that. but he seems like he could be a predator. And
wait, Francie, before you continue that, just give people a little context into your professional background, so you're not just some random crazy clubhouse person. Please.
Sorry. Well, I mean, I just practiced for 30 years as a licensed psychotherapist and psychiatry, and so I mean, I've pretty much done everything. No, I'm just a grandmother, and I'm hopefully Clubhouse's official therapist for the year 2025. I hope. So that's me. But I just so I think that he, doxing to me, I've never it's because my information has always been public because of what I do. But in this case, and the way that his patterns have been, I think that he could be a predator. And I think that what happens is every time, they get a thrill out of hurting someone, right? Because they get something out of it. It doesn't have to be sexual. It doesn't have to be, but the ante has to keep being higher. So you start out doxing someone, then you actually drive to their street, and do something, throw eggs at their house or something. Then you sneak in their house when they're not at home. Now that sounds very dramatic, and I'm surprised that I'm even saying it, but my instinct is screaming at me right now, and I don't think that's ever happened in the 4 years that I've been on Clubhouse. So I just want to say, be careful, guys. And if Dawn's around, if she has an instinct, I would really like to hear what she has to say. She's rarely wrong.
Thank you, Francie. Let me say hello to my Canadian acquaintance. But sometimes we're friends, sometimes we're not. I don't understand. But I know when he comes to stages, he doesn't gaslight. Yo, what's good?
So I'm to introduce myself. I have no credentials. I am the crazy Clubhouse person you referenced. But so obviously I don't like Pepe. I think that's pretty obvious. But I am curious, how did Pepe get that information to leak it? And obviously it's wrong, but did Mojo know him personally? Is that how he got it?
No, he got it through donations for John's campaign. You have to put your real information on it. So, because it's so important to him and that idiot Rich had to do a deep dive, y'all. And they ascertained information, and they ran around like their hair was on fire, screaming to the world.
What did you just say?
That's wild. That is wild.
Is that a federal crime?
Hello? MG, let's not even. Let's all talk offline.
No, that's a valuable lesson. At the same time, I've never heard of getting doxxed in such a way. But hey, be careful, guys. Thanks, JB, for informing.
No problem, y'all. You can go back to the chat and gaslight my chat if you like.
Yep, thank you.
You're welcome. Listen, at least he owns it. I respect the dude that owns it. He trolls the chat. But man, listen, I'm over all this shit. I don't know if some of you people haven't been in my space in a while. You're here for the car crash. But come back to Healthy Debates. Give it a shot. I think we've been having some amazing conversations the last couple of days. So that's what I have to say. If anybody wants to come up, you're more than welcome to. Well, hold on a second. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I don't want this piece of shit in my chat. Bye, Elstone, you piece of shit. There you go. Another phony on Clubhouse. So, yeah, if you guys want to come up, you're more than welcome to. I wasn't going to address this Pepe thing because, to me, he's irrelevant. Always has been, always will be. He's irrelevant in life. He's irrelevant on Clubhouse. But some things were said that had to be addressed. And by the way, for those who heard, I don't have dentures. I have implants. It cost me a lot of money. So, yeah, there's that. I own my... I'm honest. I don't have that. I have implants. It cost me $25,000 just for the fucking top row. How about that? But this asshole's like, you got dentures, and you're this age, and you're that age, and you can't even get it hard on. Okay, Pepe. Keep flapping your shit, bro. See where that gets you. Karma's real. Karma has no menu. You get served what you deserve. MG, can you run it for 2 minutes? I have to make a quick phone call. Thank you.
Well, here we are. Hold on, somebody wants to come up. Okay, sir, I'm going to let you up, but JB might move you down because every time you come up, even though I think you're funny, Times Square, you tend to, veer us off to Looneyville. So here we go. Good luck. Tread lightly.
I moved it before you even finished the sentence.
Here we go. Okay. So wait, Sonia, I think Sonia was trying to come up. Maybe not. I thought Sonia with J. I thought I saw you trying to come up. You can come up if you need to come up. All right, guys. Healthy debates. Karma is real. Ha ha ha. Moose said Times Square is funny. That's news to me. I don't know. He's kind of funny in his.
He's a cornball. Stop it.
Okay. Okay, Holly. I saw you coming off mic.
I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
I just wanted to share, totally off topic, some news. In Georgia, there is apparently a new, I don't know if this is federal or just Georgia, but there's a new rule, basically, if you are accused of something, let's say, and then the accuser, the prosecutor is found doing something fraudulent, then the case, basically all of your court costs, your legal fees get refunded to you. Okay, don't quote me on all the particulars. I was just told this whole thing. So what's happening in Georgia, Fonnie Willis, if you remember, she was basically taken off the case for misconduct. Well, now it's at the Georgia Supreme Court. She's GOP will actually get like millions of dollars back in their coffers for the legal fees. Just a little update on all the fun Georgia election shit.
Wait, Holly, is that just for elections, or is that for any criminal or civil case in the state of Georgia, or specifically tied around election?
I don't think it's specific to elections, but
so you're saying essentially, if I'm understanding correctly, and I hope it's true, because prosecutor essentially prosecutorial misconduct, I believe that's the term, when DAs, for example, do not divulge exculpatory evidence to the defense team that would have exonerated and dismissed the case up front, realizing that the defendant is actually innocent. I think I saw a documentary. I think it's something insane, like less than 2% of DAs, district attorneys around the country that are actually caught are ever held accountable. They have this weird, bubble of immunity around them. So if Georgia's doing this,
okay, I found it.
I hope it's true.
So here it is. This is all new stuff. So Georgia law allows for the recovery of attorney's fees by defendants in certain criminal cases where a prosecutor is found to have engaged in misconduct, leading to their disqualification and the dismissal of the case. But specifically, recent legislation, in addition to that, Senate Bill 244, now law, signed into legislation by Governor Kemp on July 1st, 2025, includes a mechanism for criminal defendants to be reimbursed for their legal costs if the prosecuting attorney in their case is disqualified for personal or professional misconduct. And then secondary, the criminal case is subsequently dismissed due to that disqualification. So I guess it added some language to the already existing ability to get legal fees back, but so it made it a little more broad, I think. So the Georgia Republican Party is very, very happy about this.
Coming back to what we were talking about, I want to underscore something that Nye said earlier, and it really resonated with me. We used to have more people with something to say for the basis of intelligence here at Clubhouse, and less malice, more friendship, and we've given that away, and we're left with too many times the trolls, the Pepes, the people who get their kicks from being disruptive to being sick and malicious.
But why?
I think we have to think about that.
But why do we keep writing off this specific behavior, David, and equating it to trolling? Like, this is not trolling. Like, this is literally harassing people on the internet to a criminal level in some states. In my state specifically, you know, if these people were tracked down and they were, you know, charged with, you know, cyber stalking and cyber harassment, like, you could spend up to 1 year in county jail. So, I mean, it's crazy to me how people don't see that there's serious consequences. And for other people, you know, that are disseminating people's information on the internet and they have families at home, could you imagine sitting down with your wife and saying that I have to take money out of the joint bank account to go and pay over some stupid shit that you did on the internet? Could you imagine being in that situation? So either these people are lying and they don't have families and they don't have shit to care about.
I think there's a fine line. Maybe I use trolling as too broad a term, because all due respect, you're good at it and able to keep a room lively with it. I think there's a fine line where sometimes even that crosses the line.
But see, David, I don't go from room to room seeking out to create coordinated attacks. Okay, what we've been experiencing over the last 2 weeks in our circle of whether healthy debates or in the muff, it has been a series of coordinated attacks with the same usual actors. Mind you, this all got kicked off because of the whole Brad situation. Keegan and got into it with the people got into it up in that room. Absolutely. Then that created bad blood. Okay, then it got dragged over into Roger's room. Then there were people that were attacking Roger's room and trying to use, you know, the Monica situation. Then you had other people that it's just, this was a coordinated attack. So this is completely different than trolling and calling people big bags. Okay, I'm not calling people big bags and reading out people's addresses out of the yellow pages.
Coming after you.
No. But I'm just explaining the intellectual difference. So trolling is big bags. Okay, doxing and harassment is reading out people's employment history, putting up pictures of people's still videos that they've done. Okay, with a sheer image. Okay, of something blocking their name so that everybody on the freaking app can see the person's first and last name. It is clear doxing. So if we're holding Pepe accountable, which it looks like Clubhouse is, I encourage people to hold Rich accountable as well.
I agree. I'm back. Let me just say something real quick. Let me look in this audience because there's somebody. Oh, Sonia, who are you, Sonia? I don't think I know you.
Wait,
Sonia?
is it Sonia? Let me see which one, because I think I know Sonia. Is it Sonia? I don't see her. I think that's my homegirl. With a J?
No, yeah, with a J. She's next to y'all. You don't see her?
Hold on. Not yet.
She's on stage.
Oh, she's on stage.
Yeah. So I'm asking, who is she? I don't know who she is. I want to hear her voice.
Let me pull to refresh, because I don't see her. Let me pull to refresh.
Yeah, I don't see her either.
I don't see her.
I don't see her, JB.
Hold on. I just refreshed. She probably fled. Jack, who are you, Jack?
Yo, I'm just a regular attender in both of your guys' spaces. I've been listening. Thanks for the heart, whoever did that. Just been listening to the drama. I'm sure you guys, no one likes the drama. I think the doxing, definitely we can all agree that's like, should be shunned and never happen on this app. I think you guys both made some good points about each other, though. We should stay objective, you know.
Wait, time out. What good points did he make about me? Tell me.
I mean, just basically just describing. Okay, let's not be emotional. Like I said,
shut the fuck up and answer my question or get out.
Okay, are you gonna talk like a man? Or are you gonna?
I'm talking how I want to. It's my fucking room. What is?
Okay, if you're gonna talk to me like a man, let's do it.
All right, goodbye, asshole. There's my manhood. You wanna suck my dick too, you fucking fruit pie? Shut up. He said nothing positive. You fucking idiot. Not a fucking word. Put a fucking ear doctor, get your ears cleaned out. He doxed me. He doxed my friend. What the fuck? I didn't dox him. What the fuck are you talking about? What do you want to say? He said that was so good. Please tell me. And I got this asshole Anthony Edwards also likes to dox me. Amazing. To use that asshole's word, amazing. Some of you people really need to do a fucking mental health check. You want to talk like a man. Asshole, he doxed my family. He doxed Roger's family. That's okay? That's objective? What the fuck is wrong with you? You've been in both our spaces, then you know how I talk. You should be so sensitive. Put your big boy pants on. Go give fucking Pepe a hand job under the table, because trust me, he'll be back tomorrow.
have nothing to lose. A lot of people are proving themselves as having absolutely nothing to lose.
You know what? Not only am I going to throw this piece of shit out, I'm going to block you from my house, Anthony. I don't like you as a person. How about that? You fucking bullies. I just don't like that dude. Gaslighting motherfucker. Likes to come into spaces and talking his shit. Right? Listen, I'm not a black man in America. I'm the cracker in the corner. But that dude says the worst things about black people. He's the black Pepe. That's the truth.
Well, I just know for a fact that if the shoe were on the other foot and somebody did what was done to you to him, I know that he would definitely be a bull in the china shop, tearing down every freaking room, interrupting and doing what he could to get his point across. So it's just very interesting to me how he comes in here with no sense of empathy as a father. That you were put in that situation, and Roger was put in that situation. It's disgusting.
I'm just reading the comment in the chat, and it just reminds me yet again, I keep saying this, why grown-ass men are so pressed about how other men carry their spaces and run their rooms. Why do y'all fucking care? Go sit up under the men whose spaces you enjoy. Like, too much soy and fluoride in the water, ladies and gentlemen. Your mamas took you off the nipple too soon, or maybe too late. Y'all really be pressed about how men run their spaces. I'm literally, can I use the word flabbergasted? Jesus Christ. Y'all in the chat talking about he's right about you and how you run your space. Bitch, then go find a space you want to sit in. Y'all are weird. And this is coming from men.
I've been running my spaces the same exact way today as I did the day I got this app.
100%.
He says he's been in my space before, then you would know. This space is not for the light of heart, right? It's just not, bro. If that triggers you, that's on you. Here is the model for healthy debates, right? This is a brave space, not a safe space.
This is a level of professionalism you see in my movies. So that one is really funny, man. Oh my god.
Real talk. JB is a whole entire coward. That's why. You might like JB. And that's cool. But I promise you, he's going to expose himself. You're going to. I can't abide a coward. A coward? You're like, dude. I watch women on this app say,
I have no smoke with John. But you know what? Let John be John. This is how I feel. I'm over all that bullshit.
So let me tell you why I care, and I'm going to say this in defense of women and certain ideologies behind what John is doing. Being raised by a two-parent household and having a mother in the house along with my father, she always taught me that a woman saying no is something that needs to be listened to and it needs to be heard. So when you have men like John, who has had countless women on this app tell them that it makes them uncomfortable, they don't want to have their vulnerable moments put onto YouTube, they don't want to have certain information that people can plug into certain search engines and give up their location to rob them of their sense of security. So to me, I take that from a personal lesson that I learned as a child, that what John is doing, especially to the women on this app, is completely wrong and extremely violating.
Well, you know what? You can say that a million times, bro. He ain't going to change. So my thing, for me, I just ignore him. I have very little patience for him when he comes to my stages. I give him a little grace, but when he starts talking his nonsense, goodbye, John. But we're not going to, dude, I'm telling you. Look, he wants to come up. John has a new account. Shocker, people. Who do you think has more accounts, John or Pepe?
For me, I just ignore him.
Because we all know Pepe's coming back tomorrow with a vengeance. With a vengeance. And you know what he's going to do tomorrow, people? I can promise you. He's going to say the same things that he said today, that he said yesterday, that original idea has not entered that man's brain probably since third grade. He regurgitates the same shit. So listen, I know I have this big Brooklyn accent. I say some bad things. I pissed off Jackie, right? He got upset because I said, he needs to squeeze his balls. That's fine. But whose voice would you rather hear, mine or Kermit the Frog's? You tell me. John Kitover, how many fucking accounts do you have?
Well, they clipped a bunch of my accounts as well today. And, in terms of like...
You're welcome.
In terms of Dr. Adams claiming that I'm putting women at risk, if you're talking about yourself, Dr. Adams, maybe you should take Darren LaHood's PTR out of your name and representing his campaign, because you could be causing him a lot of damage to his campaign. And I thank you for that. But nonetheless, I have to do what I have to do to be victorious and to fight people who have bad political ideas and want to increase the debt. And if you're a female on this app and you're political and I'm political, if our paths happen to cross and you end up in a YouTube video of mine, well, I hope what you said was intelligent. If it wasn't, well, let the audience decide.
Well, that's great. And
Adams, he's like herpes. You can't get rid of him, bro.
Well, and I'm going to bring back my point to the harassment piece of this. Notice I've made it very clear I do not care to interact with this man, nor do I care to be put up on YouTube. But as I click on his profile, it says add back. So this man is refusing to disengage, and I hope that you guys all see the point that I was trying to make has now been proven yet again.
All right, well, I'm running for Congress in the 16th District of Illinois, where Darren LaHood, the man in your PTR, is, and I don't know what to tell you. Go to johnforcongress.com.
I just told him no question that money back from Roger directly. How about that?
I disagree with Roger on just but it went out of control.
No. That's between John and Roger. I'm not even going down that lane. If Roger wants to, he'll be back before you guys know it. But is anybody? And I'd be honest. Is anybody unhappy that Pepe got 2 accounts flipped? Anybody? If anybody has a problem with it, by all means, please come to the stage. Raise your hand. We'll have a nice kumbaya dialogue. Nobody? Let me say hello to Moose, Curtis, Hakima in the house. Your piece. I love you. Your piece. I'm not love bombing you, but I have a lot of affection for you, lady. America, you're beautiful. Kubu, what's up, Kubu? April, how you doing? Heidi, we got Bree. Man, you guys gotta hear that accent that lady has. Off the chain. Lububu. We got Miss. We got Mitch. We got Pebbles. Pat. Ashley. If you guys want to come up. We got Dude Cool from Canada. Another sensitive person. This world's taken over by the far left. It's crazy to me.
Listen, I just want to reiterate, JB, I'm not trying to center myself, but I just want to reiterate, because I did say in Pepe's chat, somebody asked me, how you feeling about this whole situation now? And I said, I don't like it, and I'm going to stay out of it. And I think the only reason why I know the only reason why I've been so vocal about it, because again, I want to stress, especially if Pepe's in here listening on the phone. I've had no beef with Pepe on this app. He and I have never sparred. We had an incident a while ago, which he later apologized for, which I thought was very admirable, right? But I have been vocal about what's happening over the past couple days because I like GB and I like Roger. And I know some people might say, Nine, shut up, don't get involved. But I don't know why I feel compelled to defend both of these men in my own way. So I just wanted to state that because some people
I am cute.
And that too, right? So there's only a handful of houses that I go into consistently on this app. This is one of them. In the month is another one. And I said earlier today there are a couple people on this app who I don't know personally, but I'm fond of them. And if the same shit happened to them, I might be compelled to be like, leave this person alone, back the fuck off. Adams is one of them. I don't know Adams personally, but I'm very fond of Adams, right? And if some shit happened and y'all were attacking Adams, I'd probably do the same thing. Shut the fuck up and leave it. And whoever's giving me thumbs down, your mama stank. That's about it. I'm done.
Well, let me just say this. Listen, if we took a real vote, I think the majority that Pepe's just a low-life piece of shit. Always has been, always will be. Right? But then you got this parasite, right? KK Min, who loves to gaslight. I'm so worried about the women. Oh my God, ladies, look out for JB. Look out. Right? Another person trying to make herself relevant, who's the most irrelevant person on this app, goes around telling people she's a gold star wife. Her husband was killed in action. Right? Fucking PTR and your fake names. The time of the trolls is coming to an end, people. I can promise you that. 2010. Meanwhile, she got almost every date wrong. She couldn't even say Bear Stearns. She said Bear and Stearns. I understand, English is not your first language, you dummy. But why don't you just mind your fucking business and let the men fight it out? How about that? You gaslight troll. I hope you get a yeast infection in your mouth.
Can I ask you a question, Jay?
You can ask me too.
All right, thank you. I appreciate the bonus. So, looking from the outside, looking in on a lot of these beefs, at what point are we going to have like a reset? Not in the terms of like, kumbaya, but I feel like colloquially as a community, as people kind of navigate through different rooms, there should be certain things that should be off limits. From this point forward. I know that people have said things in the past. I know that people have really dug deep, in the past. But let's agree to put the past in the past. Everybody goes and sits with their own tribe. Don't go into anybody's spaces that doesn't want anybody in anybody's spaces. And let's stop talking about the kids. Let's stop talking about people's spouses. Let's start talking about people's dead relatives. Let's stop this. We seek entertainment on being on this app, and it feels like people have slowly migrated off of this app because I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of this shit at times gets very, very, very ugly. It gets very, very, very ugly, and it's very difficult to listen to. And I've been very guilty of it myself in being pushed in defending myself. But at this point, through learning from this situation, go ahead.
Hold on. Let me give you some clarity. I haven't mentioned Pepe's name in probably almost a week. Right?
No, I know that.
But let me finish. Right? I never talk about Mon. Mon's irrelevant. She's an embarrassment to herself, right? 75 fucking years old, and she wants to talk shit. And KK, I haven't mentioned KK's name in years. As a matter of fact, Adams, I specifically reached out to KK's best friend and said, bro, I need a favor from you. I need you to get her to stand down. And what she do? She took an extra 5 steps forward tonight with lies, insinuations. So how many times does a person have to sit back and get punched in the face? Like, say, you know what? I've eaten enough shit. I'm full. Fuck that. I'm not looking for toxicity, and I'm not bringing the drama, but I'm not going to back down from it either. You come to me, I'm coming after you. And I've tried my best the last fucking week just to stand down. But you know what? Enough. What she did in that room tonight to try to center herself like she's some good person. Bro, here's the truth with KK Min. She has doxed, gaslit more people on this app than probably Pepe and anybody combined. And that's just, but she gets a pass because she talks so sweet and so nice. Fuck her and a fake story about a dead husband. Bring receipts. Everybody loves to have receipts on me, Adams. I want receipts now. Until then, that person's a fucking liar. And if that triggers her, she's going to go, I guarantee she's going to go out and he was talking about my dead husband. So what? So what? How about the fact that you fucking doxed me and my family, you insidious cancer? So what? Your husband's some fucking saint? I don't even think you had a husband, you fucking piece of shit. How about that? It's a harder ball game, Adams, when the rabbit's holding the gun, and I'm fully fucking loaded.
Well, tonight is messy. Hold on, MG, I'll say this real quick. Tonight is a messy night. Somebody want to pin KK in here and ask her why she don't say herself?
No.
I was just being petty. I'm gonna go back to minding my business.
She's in the room. She's under anonymous. I guarantee you. And she's gonna cry like the little bitch she is for the next 6 months that I spoke about her dead husband. Because that's off limits. But my kids, my family, my business, my life is not off limits. It's amazing the hypocrisy with these people.
Yeah. Everything JB said. Adams, don't you think that that's not this side? Like, our side has a moral code. It's just like, damn, the other side won't let it go, right? And so after a certain amount of time, people get tired of that shit and you don't get popped in your mouth. So I don't understand, like, the moral code. We do abide by a moral code, but I mean, I feel JB. You keep fucking with them, you're gonna get popped in your mouth. And I think that that's fair, Adams. You're in these spaces, you see what goes on in the chat. Who's trying to trigger who? Do you think JB and this side is trying to trigger them? No, they come over here trying to trigger us. Adams, that's for you. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. I mean, for the most part, I don't say anything because I'm sick of it because it's been going on for 5 years. It's exhausting.
It really is, and to be very honest with you, I would like to have this conversation with you kind of in private as to how I specifically am bothered by not necessarily this particular situation and the insults going back and forth, but just like an everyday norm. You know what I mean? As far as people going to a place on both sides that I quite frankly have just gotten very disgusted with.
Well, let me jump in here real quick. So Son Goku writes, it's crazy when talking about someone's dead husband. Yeah, it's also crazy about putting my family's information out there. My kids' information out there. That's okay, though. That's okay. Let's do that. 3 fucking years, you idiot. 4 years. I've never said a word on that woman or her dead husband until tonight. But she's going to run with it, I promise you. She's going to play the perpetual victim and forget what she did to me. And she's done to many others. But I have no right to take the gloves off. Man, here in New York, we got to say it. You can only shove shit down somebody's throat till they say they're full. I'm full. Fuck that. Fully loaded, let's go. I'm tired of it. Now, you leave me the fuck alone. I haven't mentioned that woman's name in years.
All right.
But you just want to keep punching and punching. Fuck that, bro. Maybe she just needs to mind her business. How about that? See, some kind of moral compass, please, right? Oh, I have a boyfriend, but I don't fuck him when my kids are home. Do you really need to know that? Shut the fuck up. You fraud, you phony. How do you?
I feel like people should really hold on to. It's gotten very old. It's not entertaining, and I just feel like it's just non-productive.
Well, Adams, I've made some moves. See, here's the thing what people don't understand. Nine's always a mod. MG will always be a mod. Some other people will be mods. But when I open the room, if I block you, then you definitely can't get in. So I'm making some moves for people that are saying just stupid shit with no basis. They're gone. I don't need them in my space. I'll run a space with 100 people or 10 people and still have the great conversation. That's just how I feel. But, I always found, especially in this, people want real till real shows up. Then they want to play victim. What did he say? How could he say that? But what about and this is no exaggeration, Adams, at least 30 lies that she told in Pepe's room. Because I heard it. 30 fucking lies about me. Just to gaslight me. But that's okay. I was wearing asbestos underwear and she had the gasoline.
Or being messy in the chat, Adams, in these spaces. I mean, you're in the same spaces as we are. You see the chat. It's not this side being messy, Adams.
Well, let me make this announcement. It's very important. So those you didn't hear, Jazzy did not sell me any information, and Hero did not sell me any information. So all this pretend smoke after Ann that you're deflecting off whatever happened between the two of you, I don't even talk to Ann like that. I don't even like Ann, to be honest with you. She's a pain in my ass. But she definitely didn't sell me any information. I want to make that publicly known. Leave Ann alone. She had nothing to do with it. You fucking gossiping men. You're worse than fucking a bunch of tying washwomen. What's wrong with you?
That's kind of like the argument about, you have a lot of these male fortune tellers like Miss Cleo with rags on their head. You kicked me out of the room. Does Clubhouse have a feature that tells you who kicked somebody out of a room? Or are they just, kind of speculating and just being messy? Like this is what I mean about like the colloquial patterns as far as like how people navigate on this app. Like, it's very annoying. It's extremely annoying. Like, until you have definitive evidence of things, stop opening up rooms and speculating that people are doing things that you have no idea what they're doing. Like, it's very, very, very weird. It's like, I mean, did y'all go to like some fortune teller, like gypsy freaking, like, you know, like it's just very weird.
They're demons.
I just want to say hello to KP. This dude has been my friend and loyal to me from the day I got on this app, man. KP, I got nothing but love, admiration, respect for you. Welcome to the room, KP.
Yo, what's going on? Yo, I've been punched in the left eye. I don't know what the fuck is going on. And I'm pissed off right now. And I tried to hit you up too.
Yeah, when you tried to hit me up, I was in a private chat with somebody else, and I couldn't come.
KP, don't get worked up over it. Just don't.
Yeah, this is dumb. I don't know what the fuck is going on, and I'm getting drugged in the middle of this shit already.
JB, why are they dragging you in it? Why are they dragging you in it?
Because people know JB is my boy.
Man, just listen. If somebody tries to bring you some of this nonsense, just say you don't want to hear it. You know, okay, I wasn't going to say a fucking word about this. I left it alone for days, even though this dude was trying to drag me by regurgitating the same shit that I've already spoken on 5 million times. But I had to address it tonight, bro.
And I asked the other person, hey, yo, just go talk to JB. Go talk to him in a private room. Don't bring this shit on a public stage. Just go sit down. How we used to do it back in the day. Maybe you know how we used to do it back in the day. We go sit down.
100%.
Grab some coffee, grab some pizza. We gonna sit down and talk about it.
Awesome. They want to get their estrogen level up. It's crazy to me that a person like Pepe can sit on the stage and say, hey, you know what? Good. Yoshi, what's good, man? Long time no hear, man.
Doxing, you know, which potentially exposes people to imminent threat and harm. I don't think that should be tolerated. Speech is something. Speech is different. I look at, especially speech you don't like. I don't want to sound cliche, but I actually mean it sincerely. I look at opinions, words, or opinions that are expressed through words, kind of like I look at pathogens, viruses, and bacteria. If you're never exposed to it, you don't build up immunity, and so you're always susceptible to it making you ill, and you know you can't go through life like that. So when you're exposed to it, when you're able to hear it, analyze it, a resistance to it, not just by ignoring it, but by understanding the argumentation and the perspective, then it doesn't bother you to the point where you find yourself being agitated in a manner that you'd rather not be agitated. You know, it's like sneezing every time it's, the spring and so forth. You would much rather not have that reaction to the pollen. So I look at, hate speech or speech I don't like in that same regards. But when you're doxing people, exposing people's personal information in this world, that is crossing the line. But if you're calling people pejoratives, that doesn't bother me.
No bullshit, bro. I'm just using you as a camera. You can call me any name you want. You can put me down. You can talk about my past. I don't care. But when you get my family involved, when you get my friends involved, bro, there has to be a hard line there. And that's just how I feel. By the way, ladies, he's not just a pretty face.
I agree with you 100% on that.
Yoshi's not just a pretty face. He's also very smart.
Well, he is very smart. I go into some of his biblical rooms when he's speaking. The insightful biblical brothers on this app. Mad respect. Yoshi's.
Absolutely.
Yeah, involving people's families, that's unacceptable.
self-defense off limits.
That goes beyond speech. That's actionable. Okay, you actually took an action that we all understand as adults, at least competent adults, that can expose people, like you said, more important family, to harm. That should not be tolerated. 100%. That should not be tolerated. But I didn't know that was the case. I thought he got.
But all he really was doing, Yoshi, was regurgitating the same shit that everybody else has said over the last 5 years, and that I even spoke about. But he's just one of those polarized, you know.
And so that's the basis on which you. And so that's the basis on which you initiated the poll. Then on that basis, on that basis, I would have to change my vote, JB.
I can't believe I convinced you to change your vote. But yeah, that's exactly my whole thought process. Like, and I gotta be honest, he's been talking on me for 5 days. I haven't said a word to him or about him.
It's not like the past 3 hours talking shit about him.
5 days, because he's obsessed with me. And I haven't punched back. I haven't said it. And I even told my other mods to not bring his name up. But he just refuses to stop. He got clipped tonight because he was down and I had nothing to do with it. The clubhouse got involved on their own.
You know, he had a room the other night. I don't dislike Pepe. It's his cadence with which he speaks, the tone of his voice is irritating to me. So it makes it difficult for me to tune into the content of what he's presenting. I can't get beyond his voice.
He sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Something like that. And then I know that he's some of his words are inflammatory. That doesn't bother me, but I don't audience his platform too frequently. I happen to share platforms with him when he's in someone else's room. But yeah, Pepe, I didn't know he was doing that about you, JB.
Not just me.
That's disheartening to hear that. That he was doing it. That happens to people in his app. I know it happens to people in his app, but I didn't know that he was doing that. When I went into his room, I think for about 3 minutes, he was talking about how the Israeli flag was identified with Jewish identity, and he was in disapproval with that. But I didn't stick around to hear where that was going. That was the extent of what I caught. But like I said, on the basis of that, I changed my vote, man. He deserved it to get clipped on that. I didn't know it.
But here's the thing, Yoshi. Before I go to Dawn, let me just say this, bro. If Clubhouse kept kicking you out, you'd be like, why am I going back? I'm not welcome there. This dude's gonna be back tomorrow with a new account because he's so arrogant. He's so narcissistic. He feels like everybody needs to hear what he has to say. If I'm never gonna go into a club, Yoshi, then I'm not welcome. That's it.
Well, JB, that's your nature, okay? The ant only comes into your house to invite them to food. The roach is there regardless. The roach knows that he's not invited, that his presence isn't wanted. That's why he runs, regardless of whether or not he's being pursued. It's in his nature. He knows he's not wanted. The ant doesn't run when it sees you. It's minding his business, like the bee. But the fly and the roach, they're different stories. So he'll come where he's not invited but not wanted because his nature is akin to the roach and the fly.
Bro, that was amazing. That's amazing the way you put it. That made so much sense to me. Thank you for that, Yoshi. I appreciate you, bro.
Anytime, JB.
We need a mic drop emoji. I feel like I need to give you a mic drop emoji.
Thank you, Yoshi. Dawn, how you doing, Dawn?
Good. How are you? I'm sorry to hear all this. I'm just learning about this evening, to be honest with you. I was in the other room briefly, for a couple minutes, and then I couldn't, I was so, okay, can someone give me a recap? Like, I kept thinking that, right? And he was talking to someone, and I didn't know who he was talking to because he was very direct, directing his points to someone as if he was having a one-on-one, right? I'm like, who the fuck is he talking to? He was talking to you, but you weren't on stage. And
I wasn't even in the room, but he's talking to me like I'm.
I was like, what is going on? So, oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, I just thought I'd add that in there, but I got that he had said that, you mentioned he doxed you, but he said I didn't dox him. That's a lie, and I'll accept my apology. And
You want to ask me who I vote? Jefferson has my vote.
Here's the thing. When we all came on this app, we all used our original names with our photos. So there's doxing. We told our professions. It's a doxing.
Yeah, but KP, he takes it to the next level where he does deep dive researches and he does, like, listen, how this whole thing started, this whole bullshit started was he went and did a deep research on Roger and gave Roger his work history, his family's information. He put up pictures. Now, if you don't want your picture on here, right, and he's been on here for 5 years, Roger, why would he put that picture up? He crossed those lines. I don't care if you use your real name or not. But when you get his family's information about this, what the fuck does his work history have to do with anything to do with with this app?
True. Like, I'm still trying to piece everything together, JD. I don't like what's going on, brother. I don't like it. And
Fernandez?
You're my brother.
Slasher Fernandez. Aye, Madam Chair.
I don't like this shit. I told Pepe, you're better than this. Stop it.
Well, apparently he's not. Anyway, listen, guys, I'm gonna get going. I just need to get some things off my chest. MG, you're more than welcome to keep it open. If not, I'm just gonna close it down because I rest assured people, home is coming tomorrow. Pepe will be back on this app and spewing his bullshit. So, guaranteed. Club Mango, what's up? Before I close it down, let me say hello to you. If you're speaking, I can't hear you.
Oh, somebody just came into the room, and I hate that they missed this. Man, I hate that. I hate that someone missed this entire thing. He would have liked to be caught up on the latest drama. I won't say the person's name, but you probably already know who it is. But, yeah. Okay, that's it. Sorry, JB.
It's okay, man. I'm out of here. Guys, do what you want. I'm sure there's going to be a response room to the response room to the response room. I don't really give a fuck what people say about me. But when you go after my friends, like, listen, Roger could be brusque, he could be brash, he could be, a pain in the ass. But Roger's a good dude. To dox him, yeah, I'm going to call that out every day of the week. I don't give a fuck. And he got doxed. So Pepe could play and say, all I did was put up his picture. That's a lie. We have many accounts that will back that up. For me, man, I'm just over. I just want to have good conversations.
Hello?
Hello? What's up, Club Mango?
Oh, hey, what's up? How you doing?
Doing fantastic.
How's everybody?
Good. You want to chime in before we leave?
Yeah, hey, Pink.
Mango!
Yeah, I believe karma is real. As a great Libra, I spent the whole day serving karma to a light-skinned chick who thought she could, be a colorist in a room full of colorists in 94. And even though it was none of my business, I just felt like...
It's funny because I was
Another amazing room. Wow, Jazzy, bringing together such great rooms. Good work, Jasmine. What a life. What an incredible life.
5 reasons John Kitover should never be a Congressman.
5 reasons why Jazzy eats too much. Because of Popeyes, because of KFC.
Propped up
Because of Chick-fil-A? Because of Domino's and Pizza Hut?
Would you?
Yeah, I don't think I.
They clipped every single Clubhouse account I had.
I want to get to very quickly. There's a lot of criticism of Donald Trump because he didn't blast Trump. He didn't blast Vladimir Putin. I don't quite understand that. Just remember that during World War II, Joseph Stalin had killed 20 million of his own people. He had invaded free Poland along with Nazi Germany. He had attacked free Finland in 1939-40 and annexed 10% of it. He had helped.
Introducing our
Germany from September 1st, 1939 to June 22nd, 1941. He was our enemy. And then suddenly and only when Germany turned on him did he come to us. And we accepted that alliance on the principle that he was useful. And we gave billions of dollars in aid. 30% of the wherewithal of Stalin came from the British Empire, the United States government. So, you know, FDR met with him at Yalta. He even called him Uncle Joe. This is a man who killed 20 million of his own people. 1972, Richard Nixon went to China, and he tried to have a reboot of the strategic global order and play off Russia against China to the self-interest of the United States. But the point was he sat down with the greatest mass murderer in history, Mao Zedong, who was responsible for 70 million people dead, was Donald Trump not to meet with Putin, or was it when he to meet with him? Was he to employ the vocabulary of Joe Biden? You're a murderer. You're a thug. You're a criminal, as Biden said of him. And we're going to do whatever it takes. Does he have support for that, for an unlimited blank check to Ukraine? No. So he's trying to get along with a killer in a way that past presidents have reached out to mass murderers. The other thing is, very quickly, while there is the contours of settlement, Donald Trump is not responsible for this war. He's the most powerful man in the world. He wants to help Ukraine get a just settlement. He's working with the Europeans. He's beefed up NATO. But remember this. In the last 4 administrations, Putin has invaded Georgia under George Bush. They invaded Crimea and Donbass under Barack Obama. They tried to take Kiev under Joe Biden. They didn't go anywhere under Donald Trump. Donald Trump was not the author of the failed reset. Remember the 2009 Geneva debacle where Hillary Clinton pushed that reset button and we were supposed to be friendly with Russia, and basically what we did is we should be democratic, you should be democratic, you're going to be Western, you're going to have a liberalizing, while they didn't back it up. So they were loud but carried a twig rather than spoke softly with a club. Donald Trump had nothing to do with the Victorian Nuland and all of that earlier effort to put Ukraine and NATO and to interfere in the government of Ukraine. He had nothing to do with that. He did, his children, none of them went over to Ukraine and tried to shake down the Ukrainian government to pour money into a presidential family. And then, as Joe Biden did, went over there and fired the prosecutor on threats. And he used our money to threaten the Ukrainians. He has no history of that. He sent offensive weapons to Ukraine that Biden had embargoed. He was pretty tough on the Russians in a way Biden never was. He said, don't do the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, Germany. Don't do it.
When heading out at night, you must carry the small
Evidence of things.
He killed a lot of the Wagner group. He got out of an asymmetrical missile field, but he had no fingerprints on the Ukrainian war. He didn't say, as Joe Biden did when he came into office, our reaction as America will be contingent on whether it's a minor invasion. Think of that. That was a green light to Putin, as was his suspension of offensive military arms to Ukraine. So what am I getting at? The summit was about what we could expect. Putin wants to win over America, so then America will back off from Ukraine, and so it can get some more mileage westward and further deteriorate or erode or detrite the Ukrainian military. The Ukrainian military is pretty tough. It's hanging in there. It wants enough aid to leverage Putin, and between those two poles, there will be a DMZ. And if there is a peace settlement, it will be the work, whether the left likes it or not, of Donald Trump, the one world leader among the three that has nothing to do with this war. Didn't start on his watch. It wasn't a result of his policies, and it surely was not his responsibility that Vladimir Putin found himself inside Ukraine and threatening to destroy the independence of the Ukrainian people. That was not Donald Trump's doing, but it may well be his doing to stop it. Thank you very much. This is Victor Davis Hanson for the Dailies.
Okay. Does this make sense, Barbie, now? Like, he has a way of clearing everything up. Very simple, very perfect, going through the history.
I mean, it always made sense to me what Trump was doing with Russia. I was never under the illusion that Trump had, like, some special liking for Vladimir Putin. I just think Trump is a deal maker, and he wants peace and stability, and he's willing to go the extra mile to do it, when other people are just willing to, I don't know, posture? Bloviate? I can't think of, like, the right word. I think Trump is always willing to make a deal with whoever, and I think that's what I'm not surprised. I mean, I don't know if there's going to be a peace deal, I'll be honest. I just don't know if we're putting this genie back in the bottle. I just feel like the way Putin has been acting, I don't know if we're putting this genie back in the bottle. I really don't. I hope there is. I think this is a colossal money pit and just source of tension. But I don't know. What do you think, Sal? Do you think there's gonna be a deal?
Not for a while. Not for a while.
Scout?
Yeah.
So I want to say something about what Zigos and Dan was talking about before.
Okay.
So I've been to Morocco a few times, Dan and Zigos, and from what I've discovered there is almost 90% of Morocco drinks alcohol, and those are Muslims. So the way they do it is a foreign businessman opens a bar there. It's not meant for Muslims, but they go there anyways and they drink, and they open clubs too. The second thing is the king of Morocco. He doesn't give power to clerics, so I don't understand that. If you can explain that to me, because it seems like a very stable country, generally speaking.
Yeah, reliable. No, in Morocco, the Muslim Brotherhood, they function under different labels. They're actually powerful, whether it's like, believe it or not. So he does, and even though he is openly, it does not express enmity toward Israel, toward the Jews, but still, any Moroccans, if you talk to Muslims Moroccan, they reflect the same sentiment that is.
I listen to them on Twitter. They're on Twitter, and they are very.
They're everywhere. It's the same sentiment. And regarding alcohol, I had a friend, a Jordanian friend. He's an owner of a huge factory. He exports alcohol all over the world, and his business is sustained in Jordan because, of course, you have 99% of the population are Muslims. So you can imagine, it's like, who drinks all of the alcohol? And my friend is just like, he's a multi-millionaire or billionaire or something like that. So who is sustaining his business? Like, and no, forget my friend. It's like, I know my people. So it's like 70% of the people I know probably drink. So alcohol in Islam, what happened is that Muhammad entered the mosque and he found Ali bin Abi Talib. Ali bin Abi Talib is considered to be like the prophet for the Shia. It was his cousin and his companion. He was reading the Quran. He was mumbling. He was, confused. He was not reading the Quran accurately. So Muhammad got mad and he said, okay, don't pray while you're drunk. And that's the verse of the Quran. لا تقربوا الصلاة وأنتم سكارى. Alcohol was never prohibited in Islam. Never. However, it's like different reasons led to strict prohibition by different fatwas. But Muhammad himself used to drink wine imported from the Levant, from Damascus. And this is like...
Well, that's why it was shocking during FIFA that Qatar last minute banned all alcohol use, even though they had all these advertisers and all these people coming there, and then they banned it at the last minute, which pissed off all the soccer fans.
Listen, alcohol was
but originally
really,
the contract said they were going to do it.
You're gonna love it because it's all about communism. So what happened is that alcohol was not really strictly prohibited in the Islamic world until we have the Muslim Brotherhood and King Faisal of Saudi Arabia supporting them because he was threatened by Gamal Abdel Nasser. Gamal Abdel Nasser was a communist after he failed to get the West to give him weapons, so he went to the communist side and he became communist. Yeah, he went to the Russian, and they gave him weapons.
Yeah.
But after he imprisoned the Muslim Brotherhood and the radical Muslims, and he was so popular that he threatened all the monarchies and the presidents in the Arab world because he was kind of
Suez Canal and everything, right?
Yeah, he was appealing to the Islamic imagination of one state. That is caliphate, even though he was not a Muslim. But anyway, he was popular. King Faisal was threatened by him, but he could not fight him. He needed an excuse. He needed a reason. in order to fight Jamal Abdel Nasser, and of course it was communism. So he empowered the Islamic movements in the Arab world to weaken Jamal Abdel Nasser. And what happened after the 1967 defeat, when Israel defeated the Arab armies, at the Al-Khartoum summit, Jamal Abdel Nasser, he was defeated, he was in debt, so King Faisal gave him money in front of all the Arab leaders, and by doing that, he asserted his dominance, and Jamal Abdel Nasser used the money to pay the Egyptian debt. However, there was a condition to release all the Islamists or the Islamic radicals from his presence, and that's how they were empowered. Now, to the alcohol point, because the communists, the nationalists in the Arab world, they were heavy drinkers, okay? Anyone who is communist or pan-Arabist in the Arab world, he was a really heavy drinker. They were known to be alcoholic. They had alcohol everywhere, wherever they meet. So the Islamic movements looked at alcohol the same way they looked at pork. Only Christians eat pork. So if you eat pork, you're not from us. The same thing is like if you drink alcohol, you are from the communists, from the nationalists who are anti-Islam. So that's how, and Zico said something about when he traveled.
That makes total sense.
Yeah, when he traveled to Egypt, you know, Lebanon is pretty known for its nightlife and openness, right? But back in the 60s, there is a Lebanese singer, her name is Sabah, she's very famous. Whenever she travels to Egypt, her mom would tell her, be careful, because in Egypt it's very, you know, they're open-minded, and could you imagine this? A Lebanese woman was afraid and, you know, warned her daughter of going to Egypt. Yeah, Zigos, I'm not kidding. Sabuha said this herself. So what happened?
I know this, her name is Ghali, actually. That Sabuha is like a...
Yeah, I know. I attended her funeral.
Yeah, it's her single name. And she married a bunch of Egyptians, and she married Mishti Abaza, if you remember.
She did, yeah. So what happened in Egypt is exactly this. Jamal Abdel Nasser, his nationalist movement was hated, and that's why I always blame Israel. I always say Israel is responsible for the Islamic awakening, because if they didn't defeat Jamal Abdel Nasser, we didn't have to end up with the Islamic awakening taking over the Arab world. But anyway,
yeah, but then
so
you would have had communism and Muslim Brotherhood. Would have been even worse.
And West and all these guys, remember, they were all drinkers during the caliphates.
Okay, I want to switch the conversation if you're done on this for 1 second.
I just want to tell Barbie to check her DM, because Barbie sent you something.
Okay, I will check it. Sorry, my DMs are so...
I don't even want to look at my DMs.
I will check them.
Go to the hands after this quick thing, and then you'll see what happens. Hold on.
Recently, because it's going to have an unusual redistricting.
California, Barbie.
We're going to redraw the maps of our 52 congressional seats.
I know, they're trying to offset Texas.
According to our governor, because Texas has been doing that, and Gavin Newsom is running for president in 2028.
Told you.
To show that he is on the
100%.
opposition to Texas. But there's a problem. Texas doesn't have an independent commission, and Texas has a underrepresentation of Republicans in congressional seats. But what Gavin Newsom is doing is very strange. He is undermining a independent commission. It's been dominated by the left, but he doesn't even trust it. Hello, this is Victor Davis Hansen for the Daily Signal. California has been in the news recently because it's going to have an unusual redistricting effort. That means we're going to redraw the maps of our 52 congressional seats. And we're going to do that. If you want,
hold on.
According to our governor, because Texas has been doing that, and Gavin Newsom is running for president in 2028, so he wants to show that he is on the cutting edge of Democratic opposition to Texas. But there's a problem.
Texas doesn't have an independent commission. Not that they're really independent, but that in theory they are. They just gerrymander. And Texas has a underrepresentation of Republicans in congressional seats. What I mean by that, if you look at the aggregate vote in Texas for the president or for senators or for the state legislature, and you get an aggregate Republican versus Democrat vote, and then you see how many seats they have, and does that percentage represent it? The majority, no, it doesn't in Texas. In fact, most red states, if the 50 states are ranked 1 to 50, do the number of congressional seats in this state represent the Republican or Democratic aggregate overall vote as adjudicated by either state legislature races or statewide races or the presidency or the senators. You can use different formulas, but they're pretty much the same, that red states do not that they don't gerrymander, but they don't gerrymander as effectively. So that's why Texas is taking this action to get parity. But what Gavin Newsom is doing is very strange. He is undermining a independent commission. It's been dominated by the left, but he doesn't even trust it. He's not calling it back into session necessarily. He's calling a special session with a predetermined map created by Democrats to redistrict. And here's the problem. California, like most blue states such as Massachusetts or Illinois, New York, they are already heavily weighted toward Democrats. Here in California, depending on what formula we use, about congressional seats, it's about 17%. So they're 20 to 22% underrepresented. So what Gavin Newsom is saying, I'm going to $250 million and I'm going to rush through the legislature dominated with supermajorities from my party, a bill to turn a proposition over to the people so they will vote to suspend this already gerrymandered plan and get a hyper one so that we are going to go from 17% of our congressional districts probably down to about 8%, and we'll have 8% even though the state votes 38 to 40% Republican. So the problem is he's challenging an independent commission that he used to praise. He's taking an overrepresented Democratic congressional districts, and he's trying to even more overrepresent them. And he's trusting that the people will not mind spending $250 million to have this rushed election before the next year's November, and then they will vote for it. And this will show that he is a fighter and on the cusp. But the national mood is against him because, as I said, most of the red states are underrepresented through gerrymandering, and most of the blue states are overrepresented. What Gavin wants to do is he's targeting Republican Congress women and men, and he thinks that he can redraw the districts and put 2 Republicans incumbent in the same district, and then one will either drop out or they'll have to run against each other, and one will win, and they will be diminished by half. He doesn't care about the 40% of his own state that won't have any congressional representation. That's not on his plan. This is all the act of commission. But what is Gavin doing about the state? We've had 12 million people leave the state the last 10 years. 12 million. These were people not on public assistance. These were the entrepreneurial upper middle class. They've gone. We have the highest electric rates in the country, over 35 cents a kilowatt hour. We're the highest except for Hawaii. We have the highest gas prices, and now we have this carbon fuel formula and this new inflation-adjusted gas tax. So we're going to have the highest gas taxes and the highest actual price of gasoline, and together they're going to go up to maybe $6 a gallon, but that's not the end. He has driven out through hyper-regulation and bullying and berating oil refineries. We're going to drive 2 main ones out. We're not going to have very many left. And if that should happen, gas could go up to $7 or $8 a gallon. Is he talking about Pacific Palisades? It essentially hasn't been rebuilt. It's completely in cinders. Why? Because of California regulations, environmental, social equity, DEI, you name it. No zoning going on. A big fight that they want to take this beautiful Pacific Palisades historic neighborhood and have high density, low income housing in many areas, et cetera, et cetera. Bottom line, here is Gavin Newsom using 4-letter words, expletives, boasting that he's going to attack Trump by spending a reply to Texas, which is not fair now. They may be doing something extraordinary, but they're trying to get their congressional districts to reflect their party breakdown in their state. And Gavin is doing this where he won't address gas, he won't address Native people, he won't address the highest taxes in the nation aggregate, he won't address electricity prices. And I just drove about 200 miles home today. I can tell you that if you get on the California freeways, such as they are, it's taking your life in their own hand. They have been unchanged essentially since the 1970s when the population was not 41 million, but about 17 million. So the population has doubled, the infrastructure is the same, and Gavin Newsom is doing what? He's doing another performance art, wiggling his head, saying the F word, the S word, trying to dare Trump to stop him, all in performance art for his next presidential run. Final observation, what he's counting on is nobody looks at the price